For reaction, I do want to bring in Republican Senator from Indiana and Senate Budget Committee member Mike Braun. Senator, it's good to have you here, sir.
Hey, good to be on.
Well, first off, give us a state of play this afternoon. What are you hearing as far as the negotiations on stimulus, the Senate Republican proposal?
So I co-sponsored that bill with Ron Johnson, and he and Rick Scott and I, three businessmen that are now in the Senate, put that great proposal out there. Look at it very simply. 90% of people are working. 4% is considered full employment. So you've got 6% out there that has still been dislocated by government. So something does need to be done. Democrats want to do this through the election, mostly the reason, to the end of the year. The thing I hear most going back home to Indiana, I can't get people back to work. In places where your economy was not shut down unduly, mostly the red states, ironically, we need people to get back. You do not want to have a perverse incentive of encouraging people to not come back to the jobs they had before. So there could be a vote yet today, possibly, on something. I'm not sure, but that's where we're going to come from. They want to give the American public another $3.5 trillion in debt for a bunch of other extraneous stuff, unrelated. And you got to remember, the economy was the best it had ever been. I'd been at it 37 years. The Trump economy of lower regulations and the tax reform they did in December of 2017 took us out of the Biden-Obama doldrums that we had before.
Can you clarify? You said you were expecting there could be a vote today on the House side or the Senate side? Because you got the $3 trillion House Democratic bill. You got the $1 trillion. There's a lot of bills out there. So can you be more specific?
We don't know for sure yet, but something along the lines of what we put out there to where it would address unemployment only, because part of this heavy-handed government approach to it in the first place, blanket shutdowns, one size fits all, that's hampered the economy more than what it should have. We also need to be safe about getting back to work. We all know that. The Democrats, I think, are doing this mostly from a political point of view to make the election more difficult and to keep the memory of what we had as the best economy. I came from it. Most people that have been here too long to really know what a good economy is. We had it pre-COVID. We go back to whatever we had before Trump, people will be hunkering down.
Yeah, so there is some, concern, I want to say, among some of your fellow Republican senators. And I do want to ask you, because I'm sure that you're having discussions with them probably today. Senator Cruz called the total price tag a mistake. Senator Romney says he does actually want to start to phase out that $600 extra per week unemployment benefit. And Senator Thune, he wants a separate bill. And maybe that's what you're talking about here, where it's just weekly checks. Your reaction to that?
The Republican conference in general, and I stated it on the floor today earlier, we do not want the federal government to try to replace the real productive economy. And from what I'm seeing, other than the states that took the wrong methodology on keeping the economic patient healthy along with fighting the disease, tried to do a one-size-fits-all approach, it's going to be rough on some of them states. The rest of the places need to get people back to work and not have an incentive to keep people on the sidelines through an unemployment scheme that we should have not had a better one in place when we fixed the bill back in late March.
I want to switch gears before I let you go, Senator. I'm curious what you think about the president's suggestion of delaying the election.
So, President Trump's got a way of communicating that might accentuate the point. I agree 100%. If you try to replace a system based upon technology and machines and early voting and all the different ways you can vote now, trying to do it through the mail, he's exactly right. Look at the places that have done that recently. They're still counting returns in some of the places. Imagine if you tried to scale that nationally. It would be a disaster. Stick with what we had before. Be safe about it. We can do that. We can vote safely. Don't change the methodology.
All right. So you're more in favor of in-person voting, but still have an election in November.
Definitely, because I want to, and you can do it. Yes, you can do it.
Senator, it's great to have you on the program, sir. Thank you very much for your time. Good luck in the negotiations.
Welcome.